Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Best Bets by Pure Picks. I'm joined here by my man and colleague Gerard, Top G. How are you doing, Gerard?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This is going to be a fun card. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice, nice. Oh, I'm glad you joined us. Thanks for taking time out of your day to do this. Um, First off, this is going to be for the UFC 294. It's going to be a really good event. And, yesterday we did a nice breakdown with Alex. So please feel free to view that video. Also, give us a like, comment, subscribe for our channel. It would really help out with the algorithm that we're trying to kind of get up to. So, without further ado, let's just get started in terms of this best bets. I mean, Gerard, you sent it over to me earlier today. Really intrigued by some of these plays that you have going on. Would really love for you to explain what your thought process is behind these plays for the viewers, for the pure pickers themselves, just so they can kind of get a little bit of action on that juice as well, if needed. So Gerard, feel free to explain what your first play is, and we'll kind of go from there.
All right. So on this card, I was looking for potential locks. But then when I'm looking at the locks on this whole card, I'm like, man, a lot of these guys are heavy favorites already, kind of. So
Yep,
the juice is kind of like squeezed out of them already.
juice is loose, bro.
Yeah, it's gone. So I had a few names here. I had four uh, to be certain, but I only put it down to one. One name is basically the best bet for me on this card, and that person is Saeed Nurmagomedov.
Mm,
He's my best bet. What my units will hang on this card. I'm only trying to win one fight right, get one fight right, and yeah, I have 3 units tied to him, and I thought about doing money line, but I saw some other potential options there. Yeah.
awesome, awesome. So, could you explain to the viewers, how are your three units tied to Saeed Nurmagomedov, just so we understand, what kind of exposure you have going on, what kind of strategies you're kind of implementing in terms of your betting strategies. What are you talking about in terms of those three units?
So those 3 units, I spread them around to it's a 3 leg round robin. So I'm playing Said Nurmagomedov and the last 2 main events on this card. So Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat and Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. And those are basically 4 bets. So it's basically Nurmagomedov, Usman, and basically all the combinations that you can get from those 2 fights, Kamaru
Hmm.
Usman, Chimaev, Islam, and Volk. So Nurmagomedov is tied to all those names. So it would be one of them would be like Nurmagomedov, Usman, Makhachev. That's one play right there. Another one would be like Nurmagomedov, Khamzat, Volk. That's another play. And then there's 2 more after that. There's only 2 more combinations after that. So I split it around there and my 3 leg round robin, those 4 parlays. As long as Nurmagomedov wins, I'm at minimum breaking even on those. So if any other um, things happen, if it's not just all favorites, I'm making a pretty penny on this round robin.
Got it, got it. So just for the viewers, let's in terms of the round robin, could you explain a little bit more about that? So let's say like say Nurmagomedov he wins, does that mean that inside the round robin, for example, if let's say Kamaru Usman wins, if I understand you correctly, are you still profiting from that, or like how does that work?
Yeah, I would still profit from that. So Usman is an underdog, so he would give me more juice in that parlay.
Hmm.
So as long as Saeed wins, I'd be making more than be breaking more than even on that
Got it.
if that happens. So that's one of
Okay.
the parlays. Yeah.
Cool, cool, awesome. And I know a lot of betting sites. Some of them might not have the round robin option, but on Bet Online, which is one of our affiliates, we actually do have the round robin betting option. So if that's something that you guys are, interested in, I'm kind of showing you guys right now how to do it. You basically just put create round robin right here, and then they'll give you the options to kind of, uh, play with the combinations and whatnot, how much to put in each amount. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do it right there. So awesome, and that sounds great. I mean, it looks like you have a lot of exposure to Said Nurmagomedov. Much blessings there. Hopefully that hits.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, for Saeed, I thought this was actually a potential buy low for him too. I mean, what me and Alex thought yesterday, potential buy low, especially coming off of that tough kind of loss against Jonathan Martinez, very tough, close loss. Could you just sense, like, I mean, since Saeed Nurmagomedov is your main leg, if you will, for your bets and your units, could you give us a little bit of a breakdown on why you think Saeed Nurmagomedov is going to be your anchor pretty much this weekend?
Yeah. So Saeed, he's long, he's highly skilled, especially in the striking department, and he's much more technical than Muin Gafurov. And when I look at Gafurov, he wants to be on the inside to strike, and he would have to cut distance on Nurmagomedov, who I believe is going to be much faster in that fight. He'll have much faster strikes and much faster footwork. And I think Gafurov, I don't think he's as good as Jonathan Martinez in terms of grappling or striking or the danger that he poses on Nurmagomedov. In this fight, I actually think that Gafurov might be like tailor made type of style for Nurmagomedov to just piece up easily and get an easy win here. Because even though Gafurov wants to be on the inside, but while he's there, he doesn't really throw too much volume, and that just leaves him open and being in range against a Nurmagomedov who'll just throw kicks, knees, everything, all types of strikes. And yeah, I'm not so sure if he'll have the grappling ability to uh, to grind out a win against Nurmagomedov the way Jonathan Martinez did. So yeah, this to me, when I see the minus 200 or minus 230 around that range, I was like, yo, this is like the biggest steal ever on this card, I
Hmm.
think. So yeah, he's my lock and my steal on this card.
Awesome. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think potential buy low here. What kind of method would you say that Said Nurmagomedov would win in this case?
I can see him winning an easy unanimous decision win
Hmm.
here. So it could be like 30-27. But if Gafurov gets desperate, I can see him getting caught with a strike or getting caught in a guillotine or some submission. So there's Nurmagomedov has multiple ways to win this, but I think it would be an easy decision win would probably be the most likely option. I just don't think Gafurov has the skill to beat a Nurmagomedov who's been in there with some high level guys, and Gafurov only has one fight in the UFC, I believe, and he lost that one. And yeah, he didn't look so good in Dana White Contender Series either. So yeah, I think there's a big gap here in multiple facets of the game that Nurmagomedov can easily win.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. That sounds good. So once again, Said Nurmagomedov is going to be the anchor here. I was actually looking at the over 2.5 here. It opened up at minus plus 140. Is since been bet to a minus 120. So it's a prop that flipped from
Mm.
a dog to a slight favorite. I tend to also think that this fight will go to decision as well. So if I were playing Said Nurmagomedov, I was actually thinking about playing by points because
Mm.
I'm not as confident as you are as far as putting him as a anchor for a parlay. Um, but I do feel comfortable playing him at plus 200 for the points. I think that that's something that I'm comfortable with. But yeah, I agree with you that this is a pretty good pretty good opportunity for Saeed to kind of get back on track against a guy who hasn't really been thoroughly impressive. Like you mentioned,
Mhm.
he lost to Chad Enghier, that Canadian guy that not that great, and then he pretty much got picked apart by Sexy Mexi his last fight. So yeah, totally agree with you on that front. For the other potential kind of best plays or best bets that you have, I know that you have some optional ones. You explain to the viewers, what those are and kind of give us an in-depth analysis of, why you think that is.
All right. So aside from Saeed, the other three guys that I thought could be potential locks, but just how this year and these past few weeks have been going has got me to stay away from some heavy favorite options.
Mm,
But these guys I'm still highly confident in. Nathaniel Wood is one of them. I think he's just the better overall fighter against Naimov. The only threat or what worries me here is Naimov does have power,
yeah.
and he erased Malarkey's chin, who we thought had a chin. But now he's going against Nathaniel Wood, who does get recently got his chin tested against Andre Feely, and Nathaniel Wood does like to fight in the pocket. So he's going to be in range for a lot of the fight, I believe, looking to counter Naimov. And that can be kind of dangerous there, but I still see Nathaniel Wood winning that. But I just see Nurmagomedov as a better option for me on this card. And for Javid Basharat, he's another option here. He's obvious heavy favorite on this card. But Victor Henry looks like he can try to grind things out, maybe pull a Jonathan Martinez type of deal
Hmm.
uh, against Nurmagomedov. But I think Basharat's just much more skilled. And yeah, it, it might go to decision, but that's what leaves that upset potential option there too, is that if it goes to decision, are you how often are you going to trust the judges, especially these days, recently a few fights ago.
Yeah.
So my last one potential lock that I considered on this card was Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. The one thing here that I'm afraid for Ankalaev is that Johnny Walker is longer rangy striker, and he can definitely spam those leg kicks, and he's probably a better striker than Blanchovich in that aspect. So that's one thing that worries me there, but I still feel pretty confident on Kalaev to win that one as well. So if I wasn't if I was a braver person, I might do a four-leg parlay of Nurmagomedov, Nathaniel Wood, Basharat, and Ankalaev if this is the card of locks, but I'm just kind of spooked still. Still Halloween season.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it simple and ride Nurmagomedov.
Definitely
Yeah.
sounds good. By the way, just to let you know, Magomed and Ankalaev, Said Nurmagomedov, Javid Basharat, Nathaniel Wood parlayed all together as a four-leg parlay. We get plus 195 right now at the time of this video. So yeah, not bad at all. Almost a 2-to-1 odds on a pretty heavy and chalky favorites parlay right there. Um, Awesome. I mean, I understand what you mean about, trying to preserve the units. This is going to be the last event of the month. I think that we're skipping a week next week for the UFC schedule. So, if you don't feel like it, then, maybe wait for the next one. For me, though, I feel like this might be the one where we lay it all out because
We lay it all.
there's not going to be one next week, and Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi is usually a pretty stellar card, like Alex mentioned, right? I mean, last year was great. Uh, this year is kind of like we're running it back in a sense with some rematches, some new locks that I potentially see as well. So yeah, I think we're gonna get some pretty good action on a lot of these fighters. Some odds might move as we get closer to fight day. So really do some analysis and maybe you can find the best angle that could achieve victory at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Aside from the best bet that you have with Said Nurmagomedov and three optional kind of best bets that you have as well, you also have a potential prop opportunity for us. Could you explain to us what kind of prop you're angling for this week?
So this card, I really like Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev playing the over 2.5 there,
Mm.
and yeah, I like that one. It's probably much better odds now. Now that there's some fake news that has gone out about Kamaru Usman's knee, so I think that's fugazi. I think that's just that's just talk. Um, Yeah, I think Kamaru Usman is just too much of a vet, too much of a legend to just roll over after just basically losing to one person, Leon Edwards, through the last year or so. And he hasn't lost to anyone else. It's only been Leon. Um, yeah, Kamzat's gonna bring that high octane pressure and yeah, the monster he is, Chimaev. Uh, I think that Usman I think Usman will show some people like remind some people like how good he is. I think Kamzat, the first round is a must win for Kamzat
Hmm.
because if he loses that, I think it's going to look pretty it'll be a pretty hard win to win if he gives Usman the first round because I think Usman has the experience to win this. It's a 3-round fight. I think Usman has the gas tank for a 3-rounder. He's been fighting 5 rounds for a while, so yeah, I think this will be a fun fight. I got the over 2.5 on Usman Chimaev here.
Fantastic. And the over 2.5 right now at the time of this video is plus 143. To tell you about the line movement for this prop, it opened up at a plus 155. It did get bet down potentially because of the maybe the fake news. I don't know, but it got bet down to a minus 115 on October 18th, but then has since been bet back to a plus odds at plus 143. So a little bit of action yesterday that we had, but it has since been kind of uh, back into its midpoint of one plus 143. So not too bad, or its opening plus 143.
Mm.
Just curious. I mean, what kind of pick would you do for that fight? I mean, I know it's a tough one, right? We have Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev. That's a really tough one to cap, in my opinion, right?
Mm.
Although I'm pretty much favoring Khamzat in this case for a
Yeah.
variety of reasons that I mentioned in the breakdown, but I want to kind of get and pick your brain. Like, what do you think about this fight? Who's going to win and by what method?
I think I can see Chimaev maybe possibly finding a finish. It's
Mm,
possible. And obviously, this is my one of my lesser confident plays here.
mm,
I put like much less than 1 unit on this.
mm.
Um, yeah, Usman might be able to get a decision win, possibly, but that's very unlikely coming off of a short notice. Kamzat should probably win this. He might be able to get a decision or maybe a late finish. I think Usman is much durable than we think, even at this age,
Right.
and it's a 3-rounder too. So I think he'll have the gas tank for here. And the reason why I did the round robin is because these last two main events, I mean these main fights right here, it's pretty hard to fade a Volkanovski and a
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman. So anything can happen here, in my opinion. And just from the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of underdog 35 plus year olds upsets, even in the main cards, in the main events. So yeah, Usman and Volk are pretty hard to fade, even though, yeah, at this age of their career.
Yeah, totally understandable. It's a interesting angle that you have right there. Um, and By the way, I mean, I think that I really like your idea of Khamzat Chimaev having a must-win round one. Usually on the Bet Online, one of our affiliates, that that prop usually has been released. Right now, I don't see it though. So it's a bet called a scorecard, I believe, and
Mhm.
I don't see it right now, but those are some interesting ones to attack sometimes if you have a feeling that hey, like a fighter is going to have to really do a must-win situation in round one to in order to kind of win their fight. Or sometimes that a guy starts off really well, but he fades down the stretch. You could probably pick the other fighter round three, right, on the judge's scorecard. The only thing
Mhm.
is, if the fighter gets finished before that round starts, then you better make sure that fighter is still there to start the fight.
Mhm.
So yeah, the scorecard means that you either win the round on the judge's scorecard, then your bet wins, or you get a finish during that round. So it's a really interesting bet for people to kind of pick there, right? Let's say the Hamza Chimaev either gets a 10-9 or better on the judge's scorecard in round one, or he actually, let's say, subs Usman or knocks him out, you get the bet regardless. So I think that's a really
Mhm.
interesting prop there. Hopefully, it releases pretty soon because that might be an interesting one to attack this weekend for the pure pickers. Cool. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it for your best bets. Do you have anything else that we don't know about? Anything that you just thought of right now during our conversation?
Uh, no, I think I pretty much said it. I'm just looking forward to this fight, and yeah, I'm interested to see what type of Usman and Volk we see on short notice. I think there'll be a hell of a fight there, and I don't know. Maybe Volk can upset. I'm just saying. I don't know. It's probably Makhachev, but um, I'm writing for Volk here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is his kind of shot at redemption and in the going to Abu Dhabi instead of fighting in Australia. So he has a lot of things going against him this time. So interesting dynamic there. This is going to be a much different kind of rematch feel and aura. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. I mean, the last two fights obviously are probably the fights that I'm looking forward to the most as well. So I think it'll be a banger no matter what. Best of luck to everybody this weekend. I think that it's going to be an exciting fight card. Once again, it starts at 7 a.m. for the prelims, Pacific Standard Time, really early. So, if you wake up a little earlier, that's something that you can enjoy during the prelims. The main card will start at 11 a.m. Starts off with Gerard's lock of Saeed Nurmagomedov. I think he's the one who kicks off the main card there at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, yeah, find a place to watch it. Just gather some friends. Have a blast, and we'll be here in about maybe 2 weeks for the next fight night. I believe in November 4th. So, yeah, once again, just best of luck, everyone. Gerard, any last thoughts for a wrap up?
Picks and parlays. Uh, oh, yeah, pure picks, pure picks nation.
Yeah, Beer
Picks and
Picks Nation.
parlays was retired.
Yeah, we did it. We did a rebrand.
Yeah, a rebrand. Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, Pure Picks. Everyone have a fun time, and yeah, we're out.